The funeral was already over. The last guest had left. My wife had taken the children home because she knew I needed a moment alone. That's when my younger brother walked back into the house carrying a single cream-colored envelope. He didn't hug me. He didn't say he was sorry. He simply placed it in front of me and whispered, "Dad said you weren't allowed to open this until after today." Everything changed before I even broke the seal. I'm 46 years old. My father died after a long battle with cancer. For months, everyone believed we had finally repaired our relationship. Growing up, my younger brother Daniel was always Dad's favorite. It wasn't even hidden. Daniel got football matches, I got lectures. Daniel got birthday surprises, I got practical gifts because, according to Dad, you'll appreciate them more. I spent years trying to become the son he wanted. Nothing was ever enough. When Dad became ill, something changed. He apologized for little things. He asked me to visit more often. He started calling just to ask how my children were doing. For the first time in my life, I thought maybe we had found each other. I drove him to appointments, sat through chemotherapy, cooked meals, cancelled work meetings. I never expected anything back. I only wanted peace before he was gone. The funeral was beautiful. People stood up one after another, describing him as generous, loyal, funny, a wonderful father. I smiled through every speech, because maybe they knew a version of him I never really had. After everyone left, Daniel handed me the envelope. Cream paper. My father's handwriting. No stamp, only 6 words. Open after my funeral. My hands were shaking so badly I almost dropped it. Inside was one handwritten letter. The first line stopped my breathing. "If you're reading this, then I finally ran out of time." He admitted he had loved us differently, not because one son deserved more, because he carried guilt. When my mother was pregnant with me, he'd been having an affair. For years, he secretly believed I wasn't his biological son. He never told anyone, not even my mother. Instead of asking for the truth, he punished me emotionally for something that was never my fault. Years later, a medical test proved I was his son. He wrote that he'd cried alone after seeing the results. But by then, I'd already grown into a man who kept his distance. He wanted to apologize. He wanted to tell me. Every year he planned to. Every year he convinced himself it was too late. Then came another sentence. "There's something else you deserve to know." He confessed he had rewritten his will 6 months before he died. Not because of guilt, because he finally wanted to make things right. He left me the old family home, not Daniel, me. I looked up from the letter. Daniel wasn't surprised. He quietly said, "I already knew." Apparently Dad had told him months earlier. Daniel said he'd argued with him, told him he should confess while he was alive. Dad couldn't do it. He was afraid I'd reject him. The house wasn't what broke me. It wasn't the money, it wasn't the inheritance, it was realizing the relationship I'd spent 40 years chasing had been destroyed by one lie nobody had the courage to confront. I drove home that evening without turning the radio on. When I got inside, my wife asked one question. "What did your father want you to know?" I handed her the letter. She cried before she reached the second page. A few days later, Daniel called. He said he didn't want the house. He only wanted us to stop losing each other because of Dad's mistakes. For the first time in our lives, my brother and I spoke honestly. Not about inheritance, not about childhood, about forgiveness. I still keep the envelope in my bedside drawer. Could you forgive a parent after discovering something like this?